Good morning, traders. Welcome to daily webinar. Let me give you a very quick update of the next couple of weeks to come. So I would be on for today and tomorrow. I might not be here for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday because we will be probably taking a visit out of Moscow, and I have no idea whether I'll have internet connection there. And in any case, even if I get internet connection, I'll only have my laptop. I don't have I will try to see if I can connect, if the internet connection is good. We're way out of Moscow. And it's a remote area, it's not a town area, so it's kind of these remote places Russians go for the summer, basically, put it that way. So I have no idea what the connection is going to be like there. But if the connection is good, great. I'll do the webinars for you guys because I'll have time in between. It might be random, any time of the day that I'm free, right? That is one. I'll be back in Dubai on the 26th, which is next Friday. So that Friday I'll be off as well. So this week, 2 days, I'll be off for the week, all weekend. Next week, Monday to Thursday. Friday, I'm traveling. So Friday morning, you wouldn't get me. I don't know. I'll have to check the time. Maybe I'll be able to do the Friday webinar before I leave. And after that, Monday, that is the 26th, I'm traveling. So Monday, we'll be back to normal timing, normal everything. 26th, I'm traveling. 29th of August, we're back to normal time. We will shift all the time frame 1 hour forward, right? Because remember, Dubai is ahead of us by 1 hour. So right now it's already 7:30 in London. If I do it the same time now, it will be 6:30 in London, which will give everybody, even the guys in the subscription team, will get the recording before London open. So it's pretty much the same time, but we will just push it. So it's still going to be like 9. It will be 9 o'clock, but it's going to be 9 o'clock Dubai time, or 8 o'clock Dubai time maybe. So we'll have to go a little earlier. It's not a problem. I think we did that before. We'll just change it a little up, and you guys would have more time to access. I think we'll have more session because I'll probably be able to join one of the early Asian session with you guys like we did before. So that's the plan for August. September and the first week of September, I might be doing a week of free webinar on my own because I was planning it with that company, but I'll probably be off from them. So I'll be doing one on my own in any case, and I'll be looking forward for you guys to help share those videos and get it out, including this one, right? So let's go. Let's start. Dollar index. We're in the dollar index. Market is still in consolidation. Nothing has changed, and I think the more you see this consolidation, the more you should be ready that any up move now will be our move. We don't know that it's going to go right now. Very rare, and let me just go, very rare the market starts very slow like that. It's rare, but sometimes that happens. Where the market starts really slow, looking like a consolidation, coming down like this, coming down like this, and then you're going to have a flat kind of breakout of this slow move, which sometimes we think, okay, great, that's a breakout to come and break the top. And we will always make this assumption. But I think we've learned that if we see this breakout not going aggressive, but staying sideways, we're getting a sudden drop. Right? We've seen that many times. I've showed you in the CAD dollar and daily, and I've showed you the number of times. Eventually, most times the way you will get to see a sharp move down is when they go up like this, reverse like this, make a flat like that, and then come down, right? They go up like this, reverse like this, make a perfect flat here like this, and then drop. And most times that's the classical way. Rarely you see them coming down really, really, really slow, make a flat here, not even such a big one, just a slight flat here, and then drop, right? Remember, I'm in the daily. It's the same pattern on any time frame. Let me see if I can find one of those slow movements here in the daily where you might have seen it. Here's a good example. You might see this very, very slow one here. See this? And you would think, well, okay, a breakout of this should go to the top. We would always think that. And then what they did is they come here and they start to consolidate in this range. So you see that consolidation and you know, okay, great. Well, we're not actually going up. The higher probabilities we're coming down, especially when you're at the top. This one is not a top. So this one, you would probably still be expecting it to go. In this case, this is the top. So we will be aware that that possibility exists and it could come that way. Now, the daily is not what we trade. The daily is for analysis and for us to decide in bigger directions. 4 hour is, we don't even trade the 4 hour. That's why we were trading this both up and down at all times, including now. We were saying last week, if this break, we would look for the sell because it did come here, right? Come down sharp, go back there. Now the question is whether we broke the low. I don't think we break the low. The low is pretty much intact, but this is a deep pullback. So I would not be looking for a buy setup anywhere here. Any buy setup has to be above this top. You get a consolidation there, and now you can consider whether we're going to break out. I don't think we're breaking out. I think we will probably make a bigger running flat type of pattern. Because this one, I wasn't too satisfied. We looked at it, but we weren't too happy about that being. So if you get 1, 2, 3, which means this comes back here, drop again, right? If we get something like that, with this being a running flat in the middle, I drop back like this, go back up there, and then drop. If we see this, that would be the indication we might be going down big time, right? This would be your first move down, slow. That would be it. If we're going out of the structure to make a new top, which means if this is in any ways going out, you wanted to break this top for that kind of a confirmation. And if we get a flag here, we could actually trade it back to the top there. So what we're going to do in the 1 hour is we're going to watch to see whether there is any flag, right? If you're absolutely new to these videos, which means if you accidentally stumble on my video for the first time and you're looking at the explanation I give and it's very confusing to you, you might want to go and look at more of my videos to understand the method we're using called wave analysis. Right? If you follow me regularly, if you're one of the people who follow me regularly, you understand what I did. Well, good for you. It's going to help, right? So right now, all we have got is, if you're looking at this piece for your trade, all you have is 1, and we have 1 here, and we kind of go up. But we didn't break the low, but even if we broke the low, I would assume that this is sharp. So even if we broke the low, what I would say is, do we have a running flat somewhere? I don't think this will constitute a running flat. That's a smaller flag. So when it comes here, if you're trading this one, by the way, which would have been an up move, right, with an up move in this one, maybe you wouldn't even take the trade because the risk to reward is no good. You don't know where this is going to go. We're still within this down move, and we're still within this whole sideways correction. So even if you don't take that trade, that's okay. What we'll be watching for is when this goes there, does it make a sharp move here, go back there and drop? If that happens, this become a flag. If it doesn't do that, but it actually drops, it actually dropped from here, which means if we get any sell set up on the way down, we will take that trade, and we would assume that we're getting this one down. Right, so we will go with this as the possible running flat. It's not an ideal one. It's not even a perfect one. It's even looking weird. I don't think we will go with this one. I was thinking of 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, which is possible. It could be that one. Well, then we are on this one here going up. So this could go a little more here. So just the breakout itself will not confirm upside totally. What you want when you're confirming the upside is a breakout of the structure and a consolidation above the structure. Not for buying purpose, but for confirmation of bigger one, which means this could go. We could get a few buys on the hourly, and before we get that big consolidation, confirming upside, or a reversal with sell setups, which would confirm the downside. So right now on this one, as it stands, we don't have a trade. We had a trade, but that's gone. The trade would have been here. You're definitely not buying there because breaking the top is where it could come back down. So let it break the top. If it breaks out, any flag above this top is a buy. You need a flag above the top for a buy. You need a reversal with a flag for a sell. And since we're in the consolidation, both of those could happen, which means we could break out of the consolidation or we could come back, make a new low. A new low, the range is big, you can trade it. A new high, we'll see, right? Let's go. So this one, the buy, we were thinking you should have kept that there, but close it. By all means, you should have kept that. Remember, we said we don't know whether this is a flag here, a flat here for upside totally. And in any case, if you take a trade, you manage to close it somewhere here, which means we broke that top. So perfect. Now that you've broken the top, the question is, are we going up or are we going down? We're going to pull it like this. It's upwards, but very, very slow. And I don't see any kind of a running flat or anything with a lot of divergence in play. See? The momentum has died and it's not going. Let's see if there's any possible down move here still. Not really. If it goes down, it will have to be more of a bigger flat here to go up or a retest of the low. Let's go back on the 1 hour. With all the divergence in play, if we get sell set up, we'll take it. We broke the top. Any flag here would be a sell, right? Any flag you get there now would become a sell setup. because this is a flat of its own. That's a correction within this move. This is a correction of its own. That's an up move. There is nowhere that this is, it's not, there's nothing in the back to fit it. If you're making a channel that is squeezing there, well, then worst case is going to consolidate there, go there, come down back. So it's mostly downside. Wait for a flag, sell. Any flag here would be a sell setup. Let's go for it. So we'll change this. The buy is over. We're going to go wait for a flag for a sell. Let's go on this one. It's coming down and we anticipate this down move. We knew this was the correction there. We knew this was going up. Watch it to the top there. Look for the downside. Now the downside could be either one more move like this and go right back up, making a flat here, or it could continue to drop. If it continues to drop, we will take this as the complete flat, right? As it comes, right now we're waiting to see whether that flat has to do with a much long drawn out running flat. I wouldn't be surprised. It's a much long drawn out, which means this comes here, go back up like this, drop again, go back up, drop again, and then take off. Right? That's the pattern we're looking for since last week. So far, it's going good, right? And it's very aggressive. I don't think this is trying to go down. It's very, very aggressive. But there is a sell setup from the top going down just for a flat, which means an equivalent of this, a little bigger, a little smaller, doesn't matter, relatively something like that, breaking this low and then going back up, or continue to drop totally, right? Now, total drop is like, you know, it's very unlikely because of the sharpness of this if you look at it in the higher time frame. Right, but there's a trade for the downside. So any flag here would make a sell, probably even in the 15 if you get a good flag. Nothing. You don't have anything, right? So you still have to wait for some kind of a flag like this, something like this, and it start to consolidate there, give you that, and then you go for that drop. Right, to break this low, go for breaking the low, and then from there you'll see how far it takes you. So we'll be looking for a sell setup here today. I don't think the pattern will get more complex than that, which means I'm not expecting them to stay in the range, like coming here and going back up like this. I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting it to drop. So let's see. That would be a sell setup to this point, and then from there we'll wait. We'll see if it reverses or if it goes down more. This is going back up, and you can definitely buy this. There's a buy setup right now here. There's a buy setup because we can retest the top. I think last week we already spoke about this. All right, there's a chance that we can come back higher, retest this top, and then drop. Right, so I wouldn't be surprised if they actually go retest the top and then drop. Now, if you buy that, you'll have to be a little caution with it because we're hoping they go there. If they're not going to go there, then it'll probably be some kind of a flat coming here and then dropping. When the 1 hour is a perfect flag, and I think you can buy it. The risk to reward is good. The chance of getting out for break even is pretty high. You can get out of that for break even. You have a perfect flat there. Yep, you do. All right, so you have a flat. Let's see if it goes. All right, you're expecting at least one more move up like this. Keep this stop under the low, just in case it, it starts to go very slow, where you take it off and just leave it alone. So an entry above the top is not a bad idea. Keep it above this one since that is pulling back already. And then we'll see where it goes from there. So you can put an entry for a buy here, probably. Euro, same thing. We were looking for two things. Either they consolidate in that range and then go up, or it starts to drop. This one didn't break the top, so it's rare that they'll go that deep, such a sharp move, and totally drop. I don't think we're going to totally drop. So I think this will probably, probably go back up, come back down, give you a flat somewhere here. Maybe go back up. And then if we're going to drop, then it's going to be a drop. If not, it's a take off, go higher. So again, it all depends on whether this is starting the up move or whether we are actually trying to make one more low before we start the high up move. This is not convincing for any trade, not for the buy, not for the sell, nothing. I don't see any trade set up there to take right now. So we wait on this one. Even if you get an up move now, if you get a buy set up here now, I'll be watching this. So you want to flag on it before you can confirm that it's just not one sharp move up there, come back here and then go. But if it does do the sharp move here and come back here, the buy would be perfect. So if we get that flat, the buy would be perfect. Right now, we don't really have it. Found? Good sell. It looks like we had a sell again this morning. That might be gone. So what we can do now is two things. Wait for it to go back up here, make a flat, go for one more sell. Wait for it to break the low, make a flag, sell again. Where would this take us? Well, we are still within the bigger range, right? We're still within this bigger range, which is coming back to this low here. Right? We didn't break the top, so we'll have to let this go back there and work its way down to this low. And then from there, we'll see. I don't think it's going to drop totally because we came back to the top. So I think we'll have to go back up one more. Even if we're going to drop, we'll go back up one more and then drop. So we're still considering whether we're going to break the daily low, which I think it will do. So this would eventually become a big correction, right? When this comes here, we'll have a big correction for upside here and then drop. So we still might be in corrective structures all this week, maybe some next week. Right, so wait for this to see if it goes back up. If it goes back up, it gives you a perfect. If it goes back up here, you get a perfect flat for a sell. Anything under here that gives you a flag would be a sell. Right. So let's see. Take this off. That's finished. We're waiting. It didn't tag you. I think that was since last week. You didn't get tagged. We take that off. You can put it here, and it's a buy setup. Right, that has not changed anything. It's still a buy setup. So you can get the trade from the break of the top on the hourly or the 4 hour, or you can get the trade from here. Either is good. Right, remember this one? We insisted that was going to be upside. We got that trade, right? If you don't change anything, you're going to get this trade. There's nothing in it tells me downside. So keep your eyes on that, which means if we go up from here, we're negating this one, and we are going now with this one, right? So those are big moves that could make running flags. So this one would be off, this one would be one of its own. And then we will probably be coming to this stop. We need to negate this one. We need to negate that possibility. And if we negate that, then we'll continue to go for this one. See? So the question is, how do you make the combinations for the flat? You can either assume that this is a flat of its own here, and this is 1, 2, 3, which means this goes out. You can assume this is going to come here, make a bigger flat, come back here and then go, and all of that is possible. You can also still assume, when you break out of here, that they break out like this, make an expanding flat, go back down, then go back up. So, but the trade is a must buy because we don't know whether it's going to go this much or it's going to go this much or it's going to go that much. Just buy it and then we'll figure that out as we go, right? That's a good thing about wave analysis. You have all the possibilities in front of you and you just need to exclude one after the other. In any case, you're not going to buy it now and keep it for 6 months to break the top. It will probably take 6 months to go break the weekly top or the daily top, right? So you'll buy and you'll close the trade today. You might get 5 more trades before it turns to the downside. So, and you can get the trade from in here going, depending on how aggressive you guys work, right? So we're looking for a buy setup there. You could actually put that in shorter on the 1 hour. It's what's the range size? Let's see. It's a 45 pip range. So if you get the trade inside, it's good. If not, you can put an entry above the top. If we have any, just like the silver, right? You put that entry and you keep it just in case you step away and you watch it goes 200 pip. If we have any Aussie news or dollar news this week, today, let me just look at it. We don't have any today, but if we have any this week, we'll probably not. I think we will get. We could probably use that to see whether the momentum goes through. All right, I'll be here with you guys for that one. Let's see. Hopefully, if it's no Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I wouldn't be. New Zealand coming down, so we can take that out. It's actually doing more of this. And the question is whether this is still part of it. It might still be. So let's keep an eye. This one is not classically upside like the Aussies, but because the Aussies is upside, we assume that this one is also going to go, and it's pretty sharp. Now, we broke all the lows here, right? We made a new, we came here, we made a new low. Any consolidation here would be a sell. So here's the deal. If you get a sell set up on both of them, I will go with the New Zealand dollar. If we get a buy set up on both of them, the Aussie is the best. That doesn't mean you can't take both, but remember, this is all about how you manage your risk, right? Do you want to put all in one, or do you want to put it in 2 and 3 or 4? It's the amount of money you're going to risk and how you're going to manage it. So if this gives you a sell setup here now, it's valid to go. Same would be for the Aussie, but I would be more careful in the Aussie. I'll be more willing to sell this because structurally this could go down. And it has the same bigger structure like Aussie, right? Remember, we didn't put these arrows here for nothing. Right, so it could still be this and drop, or we're going to go back up for the bigger one, or we're going to go for the breakout. So keep your eyes for both sides. I'll put this as both sides open. Swiss, the aggressive buy worked out well. It's a 15-minute aggressive buy. Worst case is you got break even. That should be your worst case scenario. We know it's a very short one. We know we're just going for something like this, spike up and then come back down. And you're still in the consolidation. So you can take this out now. That's over. And we're looking at, take this off. And we're looking at the possible sell setup here. Yep, there's a good chance we probably will get a sell setup here. I don't think that is the one that will drop through the bottom. I think we might be stuck in a bigger consolidation here, but the trade is valid. Right, you can take it. The range is pretty huge. I think the range should be bigger than 100. 70, well, close to 100. 80 pips range is good. You can trade within. It's already way at the top. That's a good sell setup. Wait for the sell. Watch the low. I'm going to put it to the low. If it breaks through the low, good for you, but assume you're making a running flat. Right, if it breaks the low, assume we're making a running flat. The only way you're going to change, not take the sell, is if this actually comes back to the top, which means if it works, it's way back to the top. Ignore the sell, because the range of the sell is only going to be about 20 pips, and you're probably getting only 10 pips. Ignore the sell, let it drop here, and then look for the buy. The buy is going to be this one. Right, and if we start to do that here, we're still going to get a drop. I still think we're expecting them to go down more, right? Yeah, we're expecting them. If you confirm this consolidation here, we will be retesting the low. Right, so we'll be in this bigger structure trying to retest the low rather than go back up. Right, if this drops again this week, then we'll probably get to the bottom here by the end of the week, maybe by next week. So the sell setup is a good one. I actually like the idea. Within the range, it's good to sell it. So go with the sell. You have a perfect flag there. We can put an entry in the 15. This would be an aggressive one because you're still within the consolidation. All right, it's aggressive. You can use this one here. Pull back, go there, pull back, go there, drop. You're still within the consolidation, so it becomes an aggressive. Well, it is aggressive sell, so you can leave it as an aggressive sell there. And let's see the CAD. Okay, we didn't break this. And it's not going up as a big correction, as a big impulse. It's looking more corrective to me, which means they're probably more downside. Here's what I'll look for. If this drops sharp here and start to go back up, we'll probably consider the buy for running flat. At least one more impulse up, and then we'll see, right? If this is total upside from this point, well, good for us. If it actually comes down and make a flag, we can consider the sell, which means if this drop here and make a flag anywhere close to the low, we'll consider the sell. Even if it's just back to this low and then go back up. Right? This could still be an expanding flat and they go back up. So we'll see. I think we can get a trader. I'll take this off and we leave it open. Short term, it's open for both sides until we understand, what the pattern fully is. Right now, there is no pattern in that thing. It's now correcting. So yen, you have a sell set up, go for it. Put a sell entry here. If it's going up, be careful. Let's see the 15. This one is kind of consolidating here. Even if it goes back to the top, they can come back here and go back up. Give you something like this, and then that will be the drop, right? If it does. If you're trying to go up from here, I don't think we'll take the buy. I'll be careful of getting the buy here. I'll really be careful. The buy will probably come here. That's the closest if this takes off, right? And the buy is short term. I'll go with any buy, and this would be short term. Why not put an entry here? See if they're climbing back to this top, which is possible, right? But if it's going to drop more, take the trade because they can still drop to this level and then go back up. We could be in a big flat forming right here. So you can go with both ways. Short term, the buy is there. The up move is limited, but you can get to that top. So you can put a buy above there and put the sell here. One of them only will go. Right now, both sides possible. So we'll put it open with both sides. Leave it. Go back to the 15. Yeah, you can either go for a flag. It has to break out of this last impulse before we decide it's a good buy. The buy it's all within the correction. The bigger move on this could be downside. So this is still within the correction. Get in, let it go back up, sell it. Let it go back up a little to this level. Make a flat. Sell that. This would have been a good sell if anybody sold that. Take the profit. If it starts to come down like that, we'll see what happens when it gets here. Right, because they can still go back up. Can it go up from that point? Well, maybe yes. You have to take off that buy. We're not buying it there. The buy was to break this top. Right, to break that up and go here. But it's not going, so let's wait. Let's wait, see. We still have to go break this top. I don't think this is the start of the upside, and I'm not looking at any contracting flat in there. It's possible you could, we did this many times, that contracting flat is possible. You could make an argument whether you want to look at this as the flat in here. Right? It's very likely, but we're not going with that as yet until we confirm that this is actually a consolidation for downside. So right now, if you do that, you'll bias yourself on the wrong side. So I think right now we just leave this open. And let's go with this possible going back to the top. Even if you come here, you can still go back to the top. So wait on this one. I don't see any side for the buyers. I see a shorter term sell possible if they go back up there for a running flat. The range is huge. You can sell this to retest that low. So take that off. Euro yen. This was since Friday. That's an old one. I think we took that off already. The sell was here. Actually, you even had a sell set up here. After that, there was a sell set up there. Let's go. Let's see what we have here. Nothing, because we have one. We have another one, and we're getting another one. This is not a flag by itself. This is not a correction by itself. So we're trying to get some kind of a correction in this range within this one. All right, so let's wait and see. Shorter term trades you can take. There is no long-term trade as yet. No long-term confirmation. And right now, the only trade you can possibly get that will be a very short one is if you get a running flat here. If this goes up sharp, make a flag, buy to retest this top. It will be one short-term trade and take it profit off. Aussie yen. All of them we closed on Friday. Those were break-even trades. They did break the top slightly and then starts to drop. This could come back from here, but I'm not expecting them to do that, depending on how we would look at this whole corrective structure, whether it's really big, coming back to the low, then we'll have a lot of this in here if that happens. I think we could look for possible running flat here. And then up. So that the possibility for a running flat there is open. Let's see the 15 if we have any trade. If you get a flag, you can go for one trade. Right, if you get a flag here. Go for one drop, put it to positive, and let's see if we have a running flat. If it's not a running flat, then we'll continue to drop to the bottom. If it's a running flat, you go back up, you'll get a buy setup, right? You can take the profit out of this and go for a buy setup. So we'll take this off, look for a flag for a sell right now, because it has to come more, even if it's a running flat. it has to come down some more, right? So it probably come down to about this level. So you still have a possible trade there if they make a flag. If it just comes down, leave it alone. New Zealand yen, this one also would have been a break even. Take that off. And it's coming down. Let's see, we're not expecting this to go down to. And the question is whether we're still in the corrections and all of them. I thought this correction is over, right? But what if it's not? What if it's more complex and this is 1, 2, 3, with 1, 2, 3, then we still can do this and then go out. So you see, when you're getting so much moves inside, it all depends on how you combine them. It could be this one, 1, 2, 3, it's over. It could be they're coming back to retest the low and then go, which means Aussie yen will keep an eye on that possibility to come back, retest the low and go. This one is more possible for that. So, and if this had not broken the low, right, if this one here has not come back here, then we will definitely would have gone with that. But we did tag the low, I think. So that is why, well, in any case, it could be this as well. So let's see. Here's what you're going to do. We don't have any running flat here. If we have one on the Aussie, possible Aussie yen running flat, we don't have any here. I think this is a complete one, right? That just completes everything. This was a perfect flat that we bought. And then we bought this and then you bought that, right? So we're looking for is a flag here now to confirm we're dropping. Right? Without a flag, don't buy, because if it works its way up back like this, then we look for a running flat on outside. But if it makes a flag in this range, that would be a sell setup and we'll sell it to go break the low. So this could be a nice trade to track. I think you guys should track this one. I'm going to put for a sell setup and let's track it. I think Aussie yen is a sell setup we're waiting for, yes. Sell setup, I don't know why I put that one. I should have put this sell setup. One more sell setup for this low, right? So keep your eyes on these two. I'll be focused more on the New Zealand yen. Pattern for the downside is much better. Swiss yen, you probably close that for a slight, well, let's call it break even too. But this could possibly make a running flat, right? This here could come down back. We were expecting this to come back all the way to the bottom here, making this one the running flat. So yeah, this is possible to come down. I don't like the depth of that pullback. That's a little, nerving, because, if they pull back that deep, then we're in trouble. But here's what we can do. Since this move down is a big move, even if you put this as a 1, 2, 3 up with that one for an expanding flat, this would have to come back and break the lows. So there's a sell setup. And if we're not just breaking the low, but going back down, this would be a good one. If it follows what we think Aussie New Zealand is doing, and this would be a good sell right now here. Worst case is you're going to go for the break even. You're already getting a flag there. So we can put this as a sell right now. And let's go. Euros. Okay, that one is over. You don't close on this one. We spoke, I'm on the fifth one, all right. We don't close on that one. You close on the way down. This is where you close the trade, and you should have put an entry here, but take that off now. It's still possible if you got a running flat, put an entry there for a possible running flat. Right. As of now, that running flat is possible. If it goes higher, we'll no longer look at it as a running flat. All right, we'll see. If we're going to get buy setups, we'll need a flag to buy. So you can put this as a sell and wait. EuroCAD, you're getting a sell setup here too. How low this can go? I would go with one single drop. It's an aggressive sell. If this drop one more, I'll go with a single drop. Take profit, because we are not excluding this as yet. Right? We could go with this one. I don't like that one in any ways. We do have a flat here, but I don't like that. So I'm going with the bigger one. So if this drop, it's one more. Is there a chance it's trying to go up? Let's see. You can make an argument for that, for a running flat here. And one more up. But this will be super aggressive because you're still within the downtrend. See? So if you take a trade here, the chances are they can tag you and drop. That possibility exists. If you want to go with that buy, it's really aggressive. The only reason you would consider that buy is because of the bigger pattern, right? That this could go back up. So if you're considering a buy here, the buy here would be better if we get it in a news event. So if you get a sharp move out of the range, and that would be great. You could go with this running flat here. So could it be we're turning here? It's possible. Put it for both sides. The upside is very aggressive. So both of them would be very aggressive if you do that. And the downside is also just if it drops one more drop, you'd have to be careful with that. So you can put both sides there. You have to decide which, well, one of them going to tag you, then you close the other side, right? The upside, remember, is going to be really, really aggressive because this impulse is not very big. That's a perfect looking running flat. This could go like that, come back down. You have to get out from your positive or break even, which means you'll have to be able to get out for a smaller loss if it doesn't take off. If you want, you can wait for this to finish, then wait for the next flag and go with the trade. That's the safer trade. This is a very aggressive one. This is a safe trade because even if they go there and drop, you can move your entry. The downside is safe. Even if it drops now, you're going to get out positive because there's at least one more drop down. Euro Swiss. Nothing here. We already broke the low, so there's nothing there. It's not consolidating and it's not going up as yet. So leave it alone. Let's wait and see. We will know. What is the MACD telling us? MACD tells us we can reverse, which means we will want this to come up here. We'll want the flag here, and then we'll start to trade it up. Right? If it consolidates here in the lower time frame, you can take the trade, but you have to be really careful. Okay, this looks like a reversal to me. So this is good. This one is coming up really sharp. Let it stop, make a flag, get the trade up. What's the bigger picture in this, let's say? Might just be a flat. Be careful, right? You definitely want that flag, and you want to be careful with the flag too, because it came back pretty deep into this, which makes me think that we might come and break that low. Let me put it low so you can see where the low is and how far we are from it. Right? So we're not very far away from that low, and that is only about, only about 400 pips. That's one or two more drop, and then you're gonna be there, considering how they drop like this, right? So if this is gonna be more of a flat like this it was, see this one here. If we're repeating that flat here and drop, that'd be okay. But if it's not, then we can get an upside. So any flag will buy. Any any reversal, you'll probably wait, because even if it does this reverse like this, you'll wait for it to go back up, then we'll look for the sell. If it comes down like this, wait for it to go back up, then we look for the sell. We'll always be looking for that sell. I think most likely we might repeat this flag or something like this, and then drop. I don't see them going back up without breaking it. Your call. The buy would have been break even, and you're getting a perfect sell now. Put this sell on now. You don't have to wait. So we'll put the sell now. We know where we think this can go. Retest the low. Yep, this could come all the way back, right back to this low here. That is this one, right? That is this one. That is this one. You notice the downside is really fast. Put your entry order. So this one is simple. Let's go. Go back to the 1 hour. You can close that sell, probably break even, call it break even, put an entry order here now, wait for a bigger move down. Getting a bigger flag. When it breaks the stop, you can go up a little higher. Right? I don't think you're going to get a better entry from, maybe let it break that up and drop. I don't think you'll get a flag here or a flag here. But if you do, you can consider that. Right? You're looking for a sell here. This is easy. We know where this one is going. And at least we think we know. It could come and retest this low. So let's see. Looks good so far. Pang Yen. It's still coming down, but it's still coming down within the correction. Right? It's still coming down here, so we're not getting that up moves yet. So are we getting another one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then go back up. I think that's possible because this is starting to look like a flat like this. See this here? We have one up. We have one down. We have one up. We have one down. This actually climbed up, then came here. This one is actually coming down. So it would have to go back up, come back down, and then go. And then we can get this drop again. Go back up, come back down, and then go back up. So it seems more complex than we thought it is. Now, can we trade it? Yeah, you can get a buy to the upside. I don't think you want it. Because remember, this buy to the upside might not be the big one. You have 1, 2 here, and now you're getting this. Within the 1 hour, you can see that. You have 1, you have that up move, and you're coming down slowly like this. I don't like the downside, and we don't have anything for the buyers yet. So stay away from it. Pangos. What's the big picture? It should go back up. And we should go back up because this is, I think this is all the correction. We need to go back up there. Come back down, go back up, and then drop. Look for buy setups. Go back to the 1 hour. Look for buy setups here. Any flag you get, we buy. All right, so any flag would be a buy. Wait for a buy setup flag. Pound New Zealand, let's see. Yep, you should go back up too. All right, this one should go back up. This one actually came pretty low. So the perfect time to go back up for this. This was a good sell. Now let's get the buy and then get the downside. All right, so wait for buy setups. Let's wait for a flag on the 1 hour and the 15, whichever it comes first, whichever comes nice. This is a nice up move. So any flag like this or like this would be a perfect buy setup. Pound Swiss. This one is not clear as yet. It should go back 1 more for running flat. I think I'm not looking at this as the running flat. And the reason I'm not looking at that because of this big flat in here, right? So we're not looking 1, 2, 3. I could be wrong, but I still think they're probably going to break this low here, go back up there, and then come down. Since we know Pound Oz and Pound New Zealand have at least 1 more up, there's a chance this will get 1 more up, right? Now, but right now you have a sell setup, which means you got to be careful. If it comes here, you have a sell setup for downside. Could be 1 more drop before it actually goes back up. Remember, the Pound Oz and the Pound New Zealand has to correct downwards. So if they're going to correct downwards, this one could drop. Look for that trade. I think we will say, let's wait for a sell setup here. Let's go. Aussie CAD. Okay, the big picture is downside. We know that. Nope, not as yet. If you look at a really big picture, it could still climb more. It could climb very slow, but all the way to the top. All right, I think we've excluded any possibility with internal here. So we're looking at this possibility here. Now let's put it on the daily. So if we include all the possibility of it being something with this, I think we'll go with that running flat there. That means the one we're looking at is the next one is this one. That's the next possibility, this. Then come back here and go. Or could it totally go out and then we put all of this together? That is a possibility, right? We looked at that as well. Possible expanding flat with a flat in the middle here. Making this 1, 2, 3. 1, 3. This down, got all the Aussie pairs. We'll look back at all the Aussie pairs. All the Aussie pairs are in the daily consolidation. And all of them are going up. So the question is when they get there or if they're going to come back down. I think one has a possibility to come back here and then go 1 or 2, right? Making a smaller running flat, which you haven't excluded as yet, but this one doesn't have that possibility. I don't see that in the 4 hour. I think it's bigger than this, it's bigger than this, it's bigger than any one of them. So this could literally go back more. So you guys want to keep an eye on this running flat here. Right, which means this could go back up. You notice they have a lot of them here. They have one here, they have one here. See those running flats, and then they keep going. So keep an eye for that running flat and still going up. Maybe drop like this sometime in the future for this one, and then just keep going up back to the top. So short term, let's see what it looks like for the sell. Okay, this one, if we assume that's a flag, it's gone. Put this here, put that there. And what you're going to do is you're going to wait for a flag if you want to sell out. Probably wait for an hourly flag now. The smaller flags, you have to be careful here. And it can come a little, it can come like this even. We don't know how it's going to go. I'm just connecting the edge, right? This one broke out, so this could break. It's really not relevant. All right, you're looking for this, and I think this makes a good flat there. This goes back up, come down here, they can still go back up. I would want to see more of a big 1 hour flag here before I confirm the sell. So let's see on a 15. If you're taking the smaller ones, just get them to break even. Or get them to break even really quick. Because you don't want the sudden spike, get you into the, well, you get break even, that's the worst case. You don't want to take the loss. All right, so make sure you get them to break even, and then we'll see what happens from there. All right, because I'm not excluding that until we get an hourly flag. Any hourly flag sell, which means we'll probably be looking at this downwards. Aussie, New Zealand, you have a sell setup, but do you want to trade this thing? Really? I don't know. Give it a try. So you can put a sell here in the Aussie, New Zealand. I don't know where you put it, wherever you want. It's I don't even look at it. Come on, it's a sell. Aussie, New Zealand, let's put that back. Put it under the last impulse, just for the fun of it. You can put it higher, you can put it lower, it doesn't make. This thing crawls down. Rarely you get it wrong. Okay, this is nice. This looks good. We haven't broken the top as yet. We keep coming to it, but we haven't broken this yet. So come on. We tagged this one. That could be all, but I would really like to see them break this one. So if you're going to get a sell set up, it could still come back and go back up. This thing is a mess. Literally, it's a big correction. I'm not even sure the one we're looking at is the correct one. We don't know that. This thing could become much more corrected than that, which means literally you can still be in this correction here. Coming back here, going back there for a while before you go out. So if you're trading within that range, any flag here would be a sell. We're not buying it. You have enough good Aussie pairs to buy. You can sell this. Any flag here now, you can sell to come back and retest this low. First, you want them to break this low and then break this low, and then you're good for the downside. We will probably go with this. I think we're still in the correction. So let's see. New Zealand CAD. Okay, we need to exclude one possible running flat. We need to exclude this running flat. And that means any flag here will exclude the running flat for the sell. Any up move will give you one more buy. Either you get a flag here first, or you put an entry above the top if you want to buy it. Right? Eventually, it should come down. And the bigger picture, let's see where we are. And the bigger picture is really big, so they should come down. It's not, this one was much more aggressive, and that came down. I'm looking for the aggressive ones. This one up here was pretty aggressive too, and it still came down. So this one is not that aggressive. I think we're going to come down. Maybe one more. Let's see if we can exclude that running flag. Wait for a flag. Wait for a 1 hour flag to confirm that you're not going up. Look for this one. If it starts to go up, you can take the buy. If depends on where you get it and whether there's risk to reward with. So we're going to keep this open for both sides. New Zealand, Swiss. Yeah, this one is ready for the sell. We broke that top already there. We even broke this top, which is good. This is ready for the sell. Wait for a flag. You actually had a flag already, because this one, this flat was confirmed. Anybody took that sell? If you took that sell here, you did well. That was a trade that we were waiting to take. Okay, wait for another flag, go with it. Just wait for a flag, take the trade. If this one completed what we wanted to do, right? So you can make the argument now. You've got 1, you've got 2, you've got 3, this could drop to the bottom, which means a lot of them could drop to the bottom. So keep watch for flags in all of them. This is over. We broke the top, so we're looking for downside. We're just waiting for a flag now. Cat Swiss. Nope, it's not going up as yet. Take that off. So that is not a running flat. And it's not downside as yet. I wouldn't go with this as a sell setup as yet. And in case the sell is way at the bottom, so I would not be selling that. And it could drop one more, but I'm not interested in that sell. So take this off. We're still looking for that move up, so we'll wait. We'll wait for when we get that. Take this off. I'm not going for any sell here. We'll wait till the buy setup. Let it fall. Natural gas. We don't have the sell setup as yet, so wait. Take this off. So this one is sharp, so you would probably get one more down. Okay. If that first one is sharp, I'm looking at this as a possible then 1, 2, 3. For downside, there's no sell setup there as yet. All right. The sell worked perfect. That's an aggressive sell, but it worked perfect. That was the last one I left you with on Friday. Both on that one and on this one, the aggressive sells. This one, you probably have to wait for a flag. We took it off because you broke the top. So now this one, you wait for this to go back up. Wait for that flat, and then go for that sell. See this flat here? That's a perfect buy. Wait for the same thing, go for a sell. So this one now, if you're in it, you can move your stop. I'll probably put a stop. If you close the trade already in here, you did well. Wait for it to go back up a little, look for a running flat and a drop. So you need a running flat and a drop here now. S&P 500. It actually went up again. It didn't break the low, so you might get a running flat. You can put an entry here. But the possibility is you're going to get a running flat, so be careful, right? The possibility is it's just going to drop like this and go right back up. Keep your eyes out for that one. And this would be same thing. You can sell it here, but you might be looking at a possible running flat pattern. And the same thing would be here. You can sell it here. You can even sell it where it is, but you're looking for a possible running flat pattern, which is short term. Now, if I'm wrong, they're going to drop to the bottom, and that would be good for all of us. But make sure you keep an eye out for that running flat. The only way you could be wrong here is if you decide, well, this looks like a big expanding flat to me, or a big running flat to me. That's the top, we're coming down. Now, these are very aggressive sells. All three of them, if you put them, we'll put them as really aggressive sells. Right? Really, really aggressive. But you can take them because of where they are on the biggest structure. Right? Where is it on the biggest structure is why you could take it. And the possibility that they might get a sharp move down. Then before they go back up, it should give you break even. Next. There was a possible sell there, but that's kind of gone already. So just wait. This looks like it might drop. You get a lot of divergence. It's dying out to the top. Wait for a sell setup. Nifty. Okay, Nifty is still going. If you have all your trades up at this level, you should put your stops here. Because now they'll tell us whether they break out or whether they come back down. I think the breakout is possible. Bitcoin. Well, it all depends. For those who are trading, this all depends on where you enter the trade and what you do. So if you were entering anywhere within these where we were giving you the entrance and you're putting them at break even. If you got taken out and that you re-entered here, you put it at break even, you got taken out, you re-entered here. Well, now you can put this at break even if you did. If you don't, or if you're still with the trade, be careful because this can drop. The more I look at it, the more I think it can really drop. All right, make a new low. Make a new low and then go back up. So you watch for the break of the low, you wait for a setup here and you start buying. It's very much looking downside now. You can see it yourself, you don't need me to show you, right? You look at that and you look at every time they consolidate like that here. Look at this consolidation here, they went up. Every time you see that consolidation somewhere, it's dropping. So perfect. Same should be here, right? But it's in the 4 hour. This one is slightly different in that this is sharper. These moves up are sharper. So if you bought this, you just put an entry order to sell at this level and wait. If it drops, actually, if this drops like this and make a flag, we can start to sell if you want to sell. But this looks more upside because this one is much more aggressive, sharper. It's not flat like actually Bitcoin is like this. This one is like that. So buying this, if you bought here and you kept it, good. This could go up all the way like this before you get a big drop. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ethereum gets its way all the way to the top here, and then you get the next drop. OMG. It looks like they're going to drop one more. A lot of consolidation is pretty low. It's not making impulsive moves. They're making flat moves. This is flat. So even if it stays here for a while, it will probably drop and then go back up. Go in the 4 hour. We're not breaking that top as yet, so let's see. Is it another flat here? If that's not a running flat, then we're making another flat here, which would make an extended possible running flat, right? If this comes here and then go back up, then we're going to still be looking for this down and then go back up. So basically, you're just in a big slow move. It's a slow move correction up, but likely going to break below. XRP, if you got tagged, I hope you, if you didn't come out as yet, it'll probably go back up. Right? It looks very well when they broke this. If this is not going up now as a running flat, if this comes here, you'll be in a bigger flat here. Right? This will be a bigger flat for upside still. I don't think it will break this low eventually, but I don't think this is the one dropping. Right? It's likely going to go up one more before they come. So you can see how flat this structure is, right? This one is really, really flat. So if you got tagged, you just look for a chance to exit, and maybe make a new low and then come back down. LTC, they all look really flat. So I think we wait for them to break lows. Just wait. I know it's a long time. You're waiting. It's not going. Okay, take this out. So we'll have to go with this. This is the correction. Right, because this is the only flat that's perfect here. And then you got this sharp move, you got a flat in the middle here. Flat in the middle there is always a correction, so this has to come back here, make another running flat. Go back up. And then we can drop. If it does all of that, we're going to go back up and drop. It could also make a 1, it could make a 1, 2, 3 there, then go back up. It could make a 1, 2, 3 here, go back up and then drop, but it's very flat. So I don't think this is the one that will drop through the bottom. 80. We never broke this low, so this one will definitely come back. This one has a higher probability of coming back because we didn't break the low. Link is going up really nice, but again, the same thing. We have a huge flat to the bottom here, and that is never a good sign for the start of an impulse, which means this could drop here and actually go back up before it comes down, making a bigger flat here. So if you want to sell, that's a possibility. Do I think this could take off? We bought it, so all you have to do is put it to break even. This will definitely drop. There was no buying this because this was going to drop. Break the low and start to look for your buy setups. This will drop. We never broke that low, so I believe it will drop. I don't believe this is ready for the upside yet. So this week, if they all break the low, we'll start to look for buy setups. And we'll buy into them. So guys, thank you very much for your patience, for coming, and I will see all of you in the trading room a bit later. Some things are moving, but not fast. Don't worry. Don't chase anything. You're not missing anything as yet. Yen is going up slightly, but still not there for the buy. The New Zealand is coming down faster than the rest of them. Let's see what it's doing. You still don't have a flag. You don't have a flag on the 1 hour. You don't have a flag on the 15. Don't jump in it. wait for the flag, because when you jump in Israel, it can definitely, turn. Then give us a flag and then we'll go with the retest of the low. So, okay, guys, trade with care. Let's see. Today we don't have a lot of news event, but I'll be in the room as usual. So I'll see you for the New York session. I don't see anything happening between now and the New York session. So I'll see all of you in the New York session. Trade with care. I think Valerie will be back here with you guys a little later. And then after that, well, all the guys, Ivan, Lodek, everybody is here. Everybody will be here, and you guys continue from there. Take care. Trade with care. Bye.